Welcome to Colorful and Anime, where we talk about anime from a colorful perspective. The official podcast of Apple Cider Vinegar and Pre-Booey.
Oh my Lord!
We need to get. First of all, we need to get like an Amazon affiliate link going with all the random stuff that Kris has in our house, just so that people get put on game. If you've never been in, first of all, I got my host with me, Jordan.
What's up,
Kris?
Hi.
And behind the camera, Malcolm.
Hello.
If you've never been in Kris's house, it's like a treasure trove.
And hopefully you haven't.
a treasure trove, anime nerddom. Even right now, for some reason, I'm looking at 120 crayons, a Crayola box. And this is such an amazing...
That was a gift.
Yes. And I also see a life-size one as well. So...
Oh, yeah.
One of the mega crayons.
Oh, can you toss me my giant crayon?
Yeah, I can.
So we can demonstrate.
It's an actual crayon too, right?
Yeah.
That may be the greatest catch I've ever seen.
So like it has utility. It's not like one that you get with a bunch of candy in it.
If I wanted to use this crayon, I could. This was also a gift. But why would I use this crayon? Yeah, because this is the second nerd wall.
Yes.
The other nerd wall is
you have
over
a
my
way
computer.
elaborate one over there. This is like the newly constructed one for the pod, kind of.
Yeah, which we'll add more things to.
Oh, I bought a Jiraiya from the same place.
Nice.
Black and white, like the Naruto one.
Damelo.
You can't have it.
So if you are listening on the pod, what up? How you doing? Leave us review, subscribe, rate. Let us know you're there.
Oh, real quick. Shout out to Animix in Kenosha, Wisconsin. That's where
that's where these are
pictures
from.
came
Oh,
from.
nice.
And Juan
Kenosha.
Munoz
Well,
is the artist for these.
I'm
too.
sure we'll get his like handle or something. But I
Yeah.
tried to find it. Anyways, you tagged him in something a while back. I
Yeah,
think,
yeah.
right?
When one of our clips, I tagged him.
Sweet.
Yes.
Shout out to all the pod listeners. Shout out to the YouTubians. I made that up. You're a
great.
YouTubian if you watch CFA. Subscribe to it's like brand Nubian but better.
Brand Nubian, is that what you said?
Yeah. Extra black.
Extra.
Yeah, right. The hoteps are going to be invading
Right.
the space here.
Listen, brother, young man. The white man has been keeping us down. Kidding. Joking. Not trying to reenact a Malcolm X movie. My bad, y'all. Subscribe to our YouTube. Comment. Let us know what you think. Let us hear your thoughts. Leave us a message on our Anchor message machine. It's not a machine, but it sounds cooler when you say machine.
That would be kind of funny if they could leave a message and it'd be like, thanks for leaving a message with the CFA anchor. Like,
Yeah, but the problem is like
like
people don't even know what voicemail is anymore, let
it's
alone
true.
like answering machines.
Oh,
like,
have you seen when they ask kids how do you simulate talking on the phone?
oh man,
What?
And they put their whole palm up to their head now?
Why?
really?
because they don't talk on the phone.
They don't talk on a regular phone with a receiver and a...
Yeah, because we used to do this, with our
Yeah.
hands, with the thumb.
Because
and
we
the
used to have the
Because
joint
that
with
was
the.
It's not a
the
phone anymore, yeah.
That's not a thing anymore.
I saw a YouTube. I think
Really?
it's YouTube video of like they did Gen Zers. They gave them rotary phones and told them like no instructions. Try to
Just give it
figure
to
out how
them.
to. Now, granted, it's a rotary phone. Even millennials might struggle with it, but like. I just made me feel super old because like my grandma used to have one of them in the crib. Like, yeah. Oh
That's
my
funny.
Lord.
Even that's insane.
Yeah. So subscribe, watch, like, leave us a message, support. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. And on to our next segment. What is our next segment, Jordan?
So we're switching it up a little bit today. So instead of our typical "What are you reading and watching" segment, we're doing a slightly adjusted "What are you watching or reading that's not anime, but is nerd adjacent." So I'll start. So I just finished watching Castlevania, which is dope. Animation is great. Story is great. One of, in my opinion, the best video game shows / movies ever.
I forget that that's from
It's based on a video game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the video
So,
game was
The
cold.
video games were good. I never played them, but I heard they were real good, and they looked real good, at least for their day and age.
You got Switch.
I do
You
have
can
a
play.
Switch, yeah.
I think you can play a couple of really old ones.
The Super Nintendo one, probably.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah,
for
they probably
free.
have them on
That's
the
like
store.
the best
yeah,
one,
yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, so I just finished watching Castlevania. Dope show. There's 4 seasons out currently, and the 4th season is, by all intents and purposes, probably going to be the last one, at least at this point.
Mhm.
Nice little cap on the story.
No cap.
No cap. And then I started watching Dota on Netflix, which is pretty interesting. For those that know what Dota is, it was like the old, like back in the early 2000s, it was like that Warcraft spinoff, kind of like the multiplayer. It was like what League of Legends is now, kind of before League of Legends was a thing. So they have a Dota show on Netflix, and I started watching. I'm like 4 episodes in. It's pretty good. Chris, you wouldn't like the animation, because it's like CGI.
Yeah.
You wouldn't like it, but it's a good show. I enjoy it. It's like that weird kind of mixture of animation / CGI kind of where like you just despise in general.
Yeah, just do one or the other.
Yeah. But so that show is pretty good. And then there was something else that I was watching too that is escaping my mind. So if it comes back up, I'll mention it. But what about you, Lance?
I am 15 minutes into Army of the Dead. I haven't finished it yet. I just realized I was looking. I was like, oh, I did want to watch it, but then we had a few things to watch.
Yeah.
Army of the Dead, as created by my man who did the Justice League, right? Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder created this. This is a role. Is this the role? This is the role that Batista took over the Fast and Furious role.
Right.
Because he's like, they were like, hey, we'll give you like $1 bajillion to be in Fast and Furious. He's like, nah, I kind of want to get this made. Can we do, who's doing this or whatever? So Batista's an interesting dude.
The most
I
recent
love
Fast and
Dave
Furious?
Batista. Yeah,
Yes.
it's coming out now.
The one's coming out
but
now.
it's
And
coming
now
out
we
this
can't
month.
see the antagonist.
True.
Somebody got it.
Yeah, true.
Get out of my house.
Which is funny because
out.
so now in the Fast and Furious franchise, you have 3 of the biggest, or 2, and then one that turned down the franchise. 3 of the biggest WWE/F superstars of all time. You've got The Rock. You've got Dave Bautista, who turned it down to do this Army of the Dead movie, and then you have Mr. You Can't See Me.
Yeah. Batista makes sense though, because you
Yeah,
could
that's true.
believe that him and
Well,
what's the name
Batista's a
are
good
related.
actor.
Yeah.
Well, you can
Yeah.
believe
Well,
him
I
and
think
what's the name was
too, from what
related.
I've
Vin
heard,
Diesel?
I don't know how true it is, but I've heard that him and The Rock have beef, and so
Batista in the Rock?
yeah, because apparently they go back and forth talking about how neither like the other is not a good actor, because like Dave Bautista thinks that The Rock's not a good actor. The Rock thinks that Dave Bautista is not a good actor. At
Like
least
in
from what I've
jest,
heard.
or are
No,
they
I
being
think they're
serious?
kind of serious, like because I know that Dave is.
I know
serious
Batista
about
is
The Rock.
serious.
I mean-
Batista don't
Which
play. He don't play them
is-
games.
I mean,
Here's my thing. The audacity of both of them.
Yeah, right. To be fair, though, to be fair,
I'm like, wait.
to be
what?
fair, 2
Yeah.
things. One, obviously, I mean, theater is a large portion, and acting is a large portion of, what we're, that should not be named because it's not theater; it's real life.
Yeah.
But no, the other thing is, I watched an interview that Dave Bautista did
I
recently.
keep remembering that there's that video of the one wrestler when the reporter is like, because is it real? And he's like,
Oh, yeah.
is this real? That's called an open hand slap. He starts beating up the reporter. Sorry.
Classic moments. But no, so I saw an interview that Dave Bautista did, and they talked about him taking the role in Army of the Dead.
Yeah.
And he was talking about his journey from when he was young, because I mean, this nigga's always been gigantic.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's gigantic. He's literally a giant,
How you accidentally big?
right? And
I
he
don't
is,
know.
right?
Malcolm
Well,
X.
and he
idea.
talked about that too. Like he talked about that in his interview. He's like, "Well, I was always huge, and that's why I got a lot of opportunities."
I'm not going down that road. So all that,
But
yeah.
no. And so it was crazy because, he talked about the fact that like the whole time he was in WWE, he wanted to act.
Yep.
Like he wanted to be an actor. Like he took classes. Like he did like all these different side gigs that he wanted to do. And he talked about how John Cena kept getting all these commercials and he started being in movies. And he's like, that's what I want. Like I want to be doing that. And he said they kept telling him he couldn't, to just focus on wrestling.
He got lucky though.
Yeah.
Because
what did he end up breaking out in? I can't remember.
He was in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Galaxy.
That was his first.
Yeah, that was his first like blockbuster.
Because
role.
he was homies
because I was
with
like, I
one
knew
of
he
the.
did that role, but I didn't know that was his first one.
Yeah, he was homies with one of the directors in there.
Oh yeah, he's great. I love him.
He's great in Guardians.
Like every movie I've seen with him in it, I enjoy. Like cause he was in like Hotel Artemis, which was a good movie.
I even almost watched the one spy one with him and the little
My
kid.
Spy. That's a great movie.
Is it?
So
It
good.
looked good.
No, it
looks
good.
adorable.
It's super cute and it's hilarious.
Okay.
It's super good.
I
Definitely
didn't
watch
watch
that
it because I was
and
like,
it's free on
Kris.
Hulu, I think. Or no, Amazon Prime.
Oh, okay.
It's one of the two, I don't remember. But no, it's a fantastic movie. That's another one I was going to bring up. Like, he does so good in that movie, that My Spy movie. It's so cute. So, no, I think not. So, I think him taking that role in Army of the Dead was good for him because it was his own thing and he's not being overshadowed by like 1,500 other action stars, you know, in the Fast and Furious franchise.
Especially because it's an ensemble movie of like the same type of actor. It's like, what was that? The
Expendables?
Yes, Expendables was like that.
Too,
where it was like you loved it, but it was definitely not the kind of thing where many people were getting a chance to stand out.
Yeah, but
they were all like the same
like,
person.
let's cram as many superstars into this as we can.
And what I'll say about at least the Expendables, those are good actors.
Yeah.
Like Fast and Furious is like
not good actors.
I mean, like you were like, what you got? You got Vin Diesel? Like
Ludacris.
Luda's not a good actor.
Tyrese. That's
Tyrese is a good actor. Oh yes.
Outside of Baby Boy. But
yeah. It is.
Yeah.
And
Jen,
so
Jen is in it.
Yeah, Jen.
So you talking about Drift? Is that what you talking about?
No, he was in the second one. Or was he in the first or second one?
No,
Jen.
he was in that. Was the second.
Jen. It was the second one. He was the mechanic. He was Jimmy.
Yeah, he was
for no reason.
Bro, he still, to this day, he has a whole hashtag on his social media accounts where he's talking about bring Jimmy back to the FF franchise.
I know you want that.
Which is great.
I know you want that.
I need them to stop.
I would too, MC Jen. I would too.
Now they're in space. There's a spaceship.
Again.
I mean, they're still gonna need a mechanic.
Jimmy the skyscraper. Yeah, in like a $5 million car.
Right.
That's not a
my
real
thing
car,
is my thing is I just didn't. So I'm a huge James Bond fan.
Yeah.
And so when you watch James Bond, you get the rockets on the car, you end up in space with a girl somehow, and y'all like defeat the villain on Mars and come back at MI6 and dip out. You expect that stuff. I don't expect any of that stuff that's going on in Fast and Furious to happen. It's happening right now. And I don't, it's not logical. And I understand y'all got a huge fan base.
It's one of like, where do you go from here kind of a thing.
It's definitely not about cars anymore.
No, it shouldn't be called Fast. It just be called the Furious ideas that y'all come up with to make these movies.
In the promo, they actually say it. They haven't said Fast and Furious in any movie.
Yeah.
But in this one, he's like, you got to be fast.
I do love that though. There's a phrase for that when they drop the name of the joint. Anyways, all that to say.
Oh, have you seen the Saturday Night Live when they did Vin Diesel? He was like, he was advertising the movie.
That's funny.
Family, friends, at the movies. You got popcorn.
I don't know why that makes me think of the Mark Wahlberg one that Andy Samberg used to do, where you would talk to the farm animals, like, say hi to your mother for me. Like, what?
And that's in a Boston accent.
Yes. That's hilarious.
Oh, in any case.
That's great.
But yeah, so I love zombie-esque shows, so I'm definitely gonna finish Army of the Dead, although I've already gotten a lot of mixed reviews about it.
Yeah, I don't like it that much.
Yeah. So I mean, I go for the culture. I'm gonna watch it, but
yeah, for the culture.
You know, I'm not looking forward to it, but I gotta check it off my list.
It's not a bad movie.
Yeah,
it's just kind of meh.
Yeah, that's exactly what I heard. What you got?
I too have been watching Castlevania, although I'm only done up to season 2. And I didn't want to watch it at first because I thought it was going to be scary. And it is still a little bit scary. But it is very good. The fights are very good.
Yeah,
and let me tell you, Belmont and that whip. It's good. It's good shit.
Talking about I can't do that no more. You can't even say that no more.
No.
He's my man.
Oy vey.
You hear what happened to dude?
What?
See Lento?
What?
The guy that made that song?
What happened to him?
No.
He like murdered somebody.
Oh shit!
Somebody was whipping too hard.
I can't be the one. I can't be the one breaking the news to
I
y'all.
have social media.
Bro,
Sure she doesn't.
this guy literally is convicted of like murder.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
Of killing his cousin. And
Bro,
shot
and
his
your
cousin.
bro. Come on.
Why am I being...
Why?
I don't need to be breaking news to y'all on this podcast or all podcasts.
Things that happened in Black culture today.
Yeah, well,
It's just colored folks now.
yeah.
Right.
Sorry, proceed with your...
No,
As I get away from that topic, yeah.
No, so I've been watching that. Alucard deserved better.
Yeah, Alucard's great.
You know, maybe he'll get better. Sypha is best girl. Fucking love her. And yeah, I mean, also, so I went on a trip with my friend for her birthday, and we were just like put something on while we were cooking, and so we put on Upshons.
That sounds like a curse word.
It's a like a sitcom with Mike Epps and Wanda Sykes and stuff.
Is it funny?
I mean,
So no.
it's corny,
Okay.
but I think it's supposed to be.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, I feel like you
I
go
see
either
clips
way.
from the new one Jamie Foxx
Yeah.
has out, and it's very like 90s sitcom
Yeah.
vibes. You know what I mean?
This one has like my wife and kids
Oh, okay.
vibes. This is the Upshons does, but like not as cohesive of fam. Like he has like baby mama drama
you know,
and stuff like that.
Calvin calls our family the family from my wife and kids.
Does that make you Junior?
Yes.
I love that.
Dog is so doggone stupid.
Although, does that make me the no?
Alicia's the baby. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
No, but our dad does get compared to which
Damon
Wayans a lot.
Especially
and
Major
Major Payne.
Oh, that's
In Major Payne.
fantastic.
That Major Payne is my dad as a basketball coach.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I played for him. In
My little Brussels
He
sprouts.
coached our
Yeah.
summer league and it was like
yeah, because
tone it down.
Oh yeah, I was coaching William that year, wasn't I?
Yeah, I
Was
think
he
both of
teaching you
y'all
guys how
were.
to little tricks to take your mind off that pain?
Right. He did a body check somebody
Oh, really?
though when they were playing defense on him, just to toughen him up. She's a good sport about it.
I mean, that could be assault. You gotta be careful.
No.
Said she?
Right.
All right, whatever. Go
No,
ahead.
it wasn't
Right.
like that. It sounds much more aggressive
sounds
than
much
what
worse
I'm
than it was.
referring to. But no, yeah, he's definitely the Major Payne guy.
Right,
Yeah.
without a doubt. So no, go ahead. Proceed.
I think that's kind of it for anime adjacent things.
Yeah.
You know what I've been meaning to watch, and this is more like anime. Is I've been meaning to watch X-Arm just because I want to
Wait,
see the fire burn.
Watch what?
Is it X-Arm? It's the one with it's horrible animation.
X-arm.
And you want to watch
no
it?
idea.
I do want to
me neither.
watch
No
it.
idea what you're talking
I
about.
think it's called
X-Arm?
X-Arm.
I mean, it looks bad. Looks really bad.
Oh man, it's
First of all, this
supposed to
cover
be
looks
like
trash.
It's supposed to be like one of the worst animes.
Is it
of
like
the year.
EXARM?
Watch it?
Yeah,
I do want to watch
EX,
it.
ARM. It has a score. I think this is out of 10. Has a score of 2.98.
Why do you want to watch this?
It's supposed to be terrible. And I think maybe I wanted to watch it because it will reconfirm my bias against CGI.
So like palate cleanser.
The first question on Google, you know how they like the people ask questions.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing, which is you know how it's gonna be bad, is the first question is what is the budget for XR?
I got that.
You know it's gonna be bad if you ask me what the budget was.
How much
Is
they
it
pay to
$5?
make this?
Right.
They
Right.
said, did two people do this? I just want to know.
Right.
No, it looks awful, but I think it'll reconfirm my bias against CGI.
So you're just watching it so you don't like
Yeah.
3D animation.
Yeah.
You should definitely watch Baki then.
No.
You should. Baki is good.
Y'all were
is.
trying to get me to watch that before.
Or, no, Kensara.
Oh, you're thinking of
What, Berserk?
No, not Berserk. You're thinking
Also
of
bad CGI.
Kensara
yeah,
Ashura. That's what it's called.
yeah,
It's a Netflix one.
yeah.
Have you watched any of Baki?
No.
Okay. Then you wouldn't get what I was going to say then. It's like 3D-ish. It's the whole thing is that 3D.
The animation is
anime.
weird.
Yeah, the whole thing is that animation.
No, gracias. Yes, but that's it.
What you got? What you watching, Malcolm?
The only because it's playoffs.
Okay, Kengan Ashura. That's
There
the
we go.
one.
He got it.
Kengan Ashura.
Okay.
I'm a basketball guy, so because it's playoffs, I've been watching.
Sorry.
Been watching basketball in my spare time mostly. But the last
Who you rooting for?
Bucks, hometown, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
I gotta make sure because I had like checked a couple of my friends who are like Laker fans. Well, I just
No, they're LeBron fans.
Right.
No, I got my friend. I ain't gonna say his name, but I got my friend.
Nor the place.
Yeah, my friend was like, when LeBron came, he stopped being a Laker fan, and so his Bucks fan was his Bucks is number 2, Laker 1, Bucks 2. And then because mostly he was Kobe fan.
I was a Shaq fan. Then I became a Kobe fan.
Yeah,
and now I don't like the Lakers at all because they got somebody on their team.
Who could that possibly be?
Right.
But the next
Hatred strong.
it's not hate. It's constructive criticism.
Oh, okay.
He's just not around to hear me criticize. But the other thing besides that is our topic is the last thing I've really watched.
Yeah.
yes. What's that? We'll segment. Segway, like the car that the little device that the security guards drive.
Paul Blart.
Yeah.
Yo, somebody was riding on so I live in Story Hill, and like there was somebody. I was walking my dog, like 10 o'clock at night, and somebody was riding around.
At night?
The like but like there are certain people that are like really lit. So their Segway was lit, the helmet was lit. They were wearing like a light chest thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is like.
That's a lot.
This is not real right
It's
now.
a UFO.
Yeah, I like it. And my dog
Who
freaking out
says,
too. He
you know
like,
what?
yo.
I'm gonna go out for a quick segue round around the block.
Who also personally owns one.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a much better ways to get around for
Right.
probably cheaper than a Segway.
And safer too.
Is right.
You hit a particularly big pothole or divot in the
Oh, that's a
sidewalk.
right.
You're
First of all,
dead.
you fall on a Segway.
Right.
The potholes in
Yo,
our city be
Yeah.
horrendous.
talk about it. We are at our main segment. We're reviewing a show. Oh, can you do the little thing they do with this show?
No, oh my
Yes.
God.
Please, I meant to ask you that off camera, but so we're getting ready to talk about a show that we're reviewing, which is called
I'm sorry, I'm laughing so hard because she
I
hates that.
hated it. Oh my
I was
gosh.
watching it hit her, and I would send her those.
those is top tier.
Oh man,
We're watching the show Invincible. It all-star cast. Everybody in here is a somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Just the household, the super family household, right? We got
Like that.
Mark Grayson, who is Stephen Nguyen. You might know him from The Walking Dead.
Oh yeah, he's good. He's real good.
He plays Glenn in The Walking Dead, in which he regrets playing that role.
Really?
He doesn't regret playing that role. He regrets being kind of immortalized as kind of like
That character.
that character.
Yeah.
Sure. That makes
Debbie
sense.
Grayson, Sandra Oh, if you're a Grey's Anatomy's fan, or Killing Eve. Sandra Oh's OG, and the guy who plays Nolan Grayson, Omni-Man, which is J.K. Simmons. If you don't know who
Spider-Man.
J.K. Simmons is in everything
So
ever. Yeah, so
J.K. Simmons is great.
Yeah,
and everybody else, when we talk about them, I'll bring them up just because it's just too many.
You're not even talking about the most famous person on this list.
Well, that's the problem. I think it's all about perspective, because anybody that looks at this list is gonna be like, "Oh no, Seth Rogen," and it's like,
No, that's not who I'm talking about.
"Oh, well, I know." I'm just
Yeah,
saying,
right.
like,
Wait, who are you talking about?
Luke Skywalker.
Oh, yeah. He is an amazing voice actor.
Yeah.
Him as Joker,
the best.
iconic
Yeah,
Joker.
we'll get there.
Yeah,
We'll get
he's
there.
the-
We'll get
Sorry.
there. It's
He's-
okay because
he
I
is.
Him and
Okay.
Chris Summer needs to do a cartoon.
we'll get there. So
Certainly.
I want to. So we're
Certainly.
gonna start this how we usually start, with reviewing anime related things. Overview. What do you guys think of it? Like top, like kind of like a bird's eye view. What do you think of the show? How did it make you feel?
Shut up, Malcolm.
Gotcha one.
I
great.
really enjoyed it. It was predictable at a certain point, but like I didn't watch it for the twist, if that makes sense. There was a twist. Then after that, it was less twisty. But I wasn't watching it for that. I was watching it for the bloody violence.
There was a lot of
The
that.
bloody
was
violence.
Right.
Absolutely
I
not
was
sure on
watching
that.
for the
Certainly a lot of
violence.
that,
I was
yeah.
watching it for the action. I was watching it because I like superhero shit. And for that, I was satisfied. So yeah, I overall enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah. I would agree with that. I mean, obviously spoilers in this episode, but
Spoilers.
Spoilers.
yeah, like what's like the fade out, the spoilers. But no, yeah, the twist was good, obviously, where Omni-Man just like brutally murders the entire squad.
Yeah.
That was very
Which
twisty.
is funny because that's like episode 2, 1.
I think
The
that was
first-
that was
it's the
one,
end of the
right?
I
first
think it was the
episode.
end of the first.
first.
Episode,
It's got mad Promise Neverland vibes.
Oh, without a
that
doubt.
first episode twist.
Without a
Yeah,
doubt.
right. But then after that, like kind of like you said, like after that major twist, like everything else was kind of pretty much
Yeah. You can
Predictable,
kind of see it
but-
coming.
not in a bad way. Like
Yeah.
it was still a great show. Like
Yeah.
entertaining. I thought the characters were great. The voice cast was dope. The character, like it was a fun story. Like it's not. I mean, obviously, like superhero
fun
stories. Superhero stories are like a dime a dozen nowadays. But I thought it was interesting that they turned kind of like the Superman character, instead of him being the protector of Earth, he was actually like he was the colonizer.
Right.
He was like, "Be gone, colonizers."
Right. It's Superman meets Dragon Ball.
Yeah. So, kind of. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
well, I
yeah.
would say even in
Meets the boys.
you ever see like these evil Superman spinoffs?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
Red
the
Sun.
one movie that
The red joint- what's the red
whatchamacallit
dude?
did.
It's called
What's
Red.
the name of that movie?
Superman Red Sun.
There's
What is
that one,
Russia?
but there's another one that's the same thing, but it's scary.
Do y'all?
Brightburn.
Yes,
Brightburn.
Brightburn.
Yes.
That's
I
the
never
movie
watched
I
that
was
one. Is that
thinking
one good?
about.
I didn't watch that.
It's really good.
Is,
I
it, is
liked
that a
it.
Marvel or DC show, or is that like
No,
a
it's
different?
not. Neither.
but
okay.
it's Superman's
Yeah,
story.
Yeah.
But
But
like,
it's like if he
was
had
evil, or if he
gone
had-
wrong.
Sure.
But he's like what, like 12 in this?
Yeah, he's a
Okay.
kid.
In the movie. So it's like did anybody else watch Smallville? Just
No.
just me? I
I did.
fucking love that show. And
Smallville was
I am
great.
judged regularly
And
for
now
that.
they all teeny bopper DC WB show.
Yeah,
and
right.
the guy that
Teeny
plays
bopper.
Lex Luthor has a podcast. His podcast is actually really good.
He was
Wait, Lex Luthor in Smallville? Or?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
the best Lex Luthor.
Without a
He
doubt.
is. I don't know why they won't let him keep
He's
playing
the
it.
best Lex Luthor.
In any case, in that show, there's like the moment that Superman has with his spaceship that kind of like reveals his purpose or whatever or stuff. So in Brightburn, he has that same sort of moment.
Yep.
Only the ship is telling him to like dominate the planet.
Yeah.
And so that's why he, goes through the effort of killing everyone. How he kills that lady cop? Jesus.
Such a talented young
You talking about in
individual.
Smallville and
Oh,
Brightburn?
the car accident?
Oh, that's all Brightburn.
Oh, the car
Oh,
accident.
Yep.
I forgot about that. Oh my God.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh no. I'm not gonna be able to get that out of my
no.
mind.
Nah. I think this show is one of the top. It's a top tier comic book animated show series.
Yeah, I would agree.
For sure.
Right, like this is when I think about top tier. I think it all the Batman ones, a lot of like all the Justice League stuff. Even if some of those Spider-Man ones are really good. And I don't mean that like other ones weren't. It's just as far as seriousness to like totality of it. I thought this was really cool. I thought I have some beefs with some voice acting that went on here. Like I think 90% of everybody did their job, and I think 10% of the people either mailed it in or could have had a better role. We'll talk about that toward the end.
Okay.
But I didn't. I was pleasantly. I had no expectations of the show. I just kept hearing about it. So watching it, sitting through, I binged it in like 2 days, and I was like, "Yo, this is."
Yeah, I watched it really quick too.
My only
Yeah.
expectation, I was explained like it was that animated The Boys.
What?
That was
Oh,
what.
That's a good
Yeah.
show. Yeah, The Boys.
So that's what the expectation I went in for, and I was kind of like, I see that.
Yeah. Yeah, but like you said, I don't think the storyline was like. But I don't know if storylines in comic book.
Well, they modified the storyline for the show.
Right.
Like some of the stuff that happened during this season happens later in the comic books. Like the stuff is out of order.
Right.
Oh, okay.
You mean
Okay.
for Invincible?
For Invincible. Yeah. So
Yeah.
like stuff happens later, like the robot getting a body and all that happens.
Doesn't
like,
happen till
Oh,
later.
Yeah.
sure.
Like it happens like
That was
after
weird.
the epic fight, and it's like a bunch of stuff happens after that they did before.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's do favorite moment. We'll cram it into one. Favorite moments, favorite characters, things you liked, things that appealed to you. Yeah. What you
Favorite character, hands down, Omni-Man. I
We got the psychopath vibes again.
I don't
There we go. There we go.
He's my favorite character. I think that yeah, all of the fights that he's in are really, really good. He's OP as shit. Kind of ill calling his wife a pet or whatever.
He OC for that.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's kind of bogus. I did also like the mom character too. Like I liked her a lot, I think. The Mark coming in the house, like being like, "Are you guys okay?" That was funny.
Yeah. Where they've been having super sex all around the house.
Yeah. Which I'm like,
Just say
that
super
poor woman.
sex.
I'm trying to think what I felt like my favorite moment was though. That I guess the twist when he kills all of
the fake Avengers.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Red
And-
Rush.
or when
They don't
they-
get out of here with that. Sorry, go
Red
ahead.
Rush.
Red Rush.
Oh man.
Uh,
Yeah. I think that maybe that was my favorite moment because it was the shocker.
Yeah.
Like you didn't know that was coming. It was kind of the last surprise for me in the show too. And it came in the first episode.
Set the tone for what the show was going to be.
Yeah.
Because up until that point, you didn't know it was going to really be like that.
Right. Yeah. So yes, favorite character definitely Omni-Man. And favorite moment is Omni-Man murking his whole super team.
I mean, even though he wasn't part of the team, he's a lone soldier.
Right,
The
right.
lone ranger.
He's the guy that helped out,
Yeah.
but like really did most of the heavy lifting.
Right.
Yeah.
Group project type shit.
I think I liked the fact that even though he was super powerful, like the squad almost killed him. Like
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah, he almost
Yeah,
got
they
caught. He almost got
definitely
caught
gave him
lacking.
a run for
they
for his
almost
money.
killed him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And like I like the fact that he's not immortal.
yeah,
Like
Yeah.
he is killable. I mean, he's gonna take a lot of doing to kill him, but he is
Yeah.
killable.
yeah.
Like, and so like you see that. I
he may
liked
have
that
to make
fight
sure
a
he
lot.
off the red rush first.
Yeah, right.
because he
was
knew
the
that
only
he
one
would
could
be a
really-
problem. Yeah.
He was saving everybody
Right.
from when it was gonna get
Right.
real.
I was like, let's get him out of here real quick.
Right. Well, can you imagine getting all the rabbit punches to your heart like that? You know, well,
Yeah.
I'm talking. You know, he make Donnie Yen look like he's slow.
That's hilarious.
I'll add. Sorry, I know you're
No,
gonna
go
give
for
you a bit. I'll add too. Every time Omni-Man kills somebody, he does the Bruce Lee thing, like the heart soul snatching thing.
Yeah.
I guess it's
He
not.
does-
Is it the
he-
Bruce Lee? The
He
kung
likes
fu thing, I'll
tearing
call
out
it.
organs.
Yeah, he literally. It's like, all right, we're gonna. How are we gonna end this fight?
Yeah, right.
Like almost every single fight, he does
he's
that.
snatching organs.
Yeah, like when old boy revived at the end, and they're like, "Oh, you here? All right, cool. You should have stayed dead."
Ah.
Yeah, right.
Let me get your heart again. Look, come about that.
Oh my
Which
gosh.
yeah. So
I also thought it was really hilarious. So one of my favorite. Anytime the twins are
Oh yeah, the
Yeah,
twins.
they were
going
good.
back and forth,
They're
they're
great.
hilarious.
I did like the
always talking
twins.
about how like, oh, I'm the original. No, I'm the original. Like that was hilarious. The fact that like they were funny. Like from the very first
Yeah.
fight.
And the robot guy is like, "Why do you do that?" And he was like, "Well, if one of you knows that you're the clone,
right.
then it's gonna affect how you
Yeah,
act
exactly.
and behave.
He's like, oh, that makes
so
sense.
it's an important part of our process."
Which
Makes
yeah.
sense.
oh, I appreciated the opening scene. I don't know if you remember. So like the security guards talking.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it was kind of
yeah.
like a Quentin
Oh
Tarantino
man,
moment.
I was
Yeah.
so ready. I was
'Cause-
like, "He's gonna die. He's so gonna die. Oh,
Well-
he's gonna die." And I was like, "Oh,
Well, what they
didn't
do is
die.
they, like I said, it's kind of like the Quentin Tarantino moment because they have that moment. And I say that because it's built around his dialogue that they're having.
Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah.
And then what you see later in the series is he takes his son to where he said he was going to take him,
right."
to UK, and so like and then he's explaining the royal family, which I thought was an interesting bit to include too. It's like, well, why they need this big old house? It's like, well, she's just doing that just to show people that she's how powerful she is.
Mhm.
There's just no utility in this house other than
Yeah.
to show her power, and it so it's kind of like talking about like a power dynamic, and then they have that big old. So I appreciated them for like being like sneaking that intricate moment in
Yeah.
there because they
Yeah.
could have just been like canon story the whole time or whatever. But I thought that was dope.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. My favorite character might be Battle Beast.
Oh, the little girl?
No,
Which
the
one?
the tiger lion.
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, first of all,
He
Everybody.
was not taking
Bro,
no
yeah,
L's.
no,
let
he
me
was
tell you
not.
because I was like,
He
first
said,
of all-
"I'm bored. I'm out of here."
He made Invincible not so.
Do it. It's all love, Chris. It's all love.
And I think I hated it because it got me every time. And I'd be just watching the show and then it would just break. And I'm like,
what I like
fucking.
is in the later episodes, they kind of lulls you to sleep.
Right.
Because they'll do like the 3 minutes worth of show before
Yes, before
they
did
drop
it.
it.
Yes.
Before they drop it.
But no, the Liger dude or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, he
and like
was.
shut it down. He shut the whole thing down.
He did. That
Nobody
whole
was
team,
close.
he messed all them up, yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah, nobody was close at all. Like
And he almost killed the girl. The turned into the giant
You
ass
almost killed them
troll or
all.
whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did almost kill everybody.
With a,
it's like,
with a mace.
he left
just
because they were
smashed
too
him.
weak. First of
Yeah.
all, if somebody goes back to their own dimension because you're too weak,
Right.
like it was. He was not
Right.
worried. He wasn't threatened.
he wasn't.
Right.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Or when Omni-Man soloed that entire planet.
Yeah.
Oh, that was great. He was
That
like,
was
"Oh,
good.
so what,
Just
this what we
committed
doing?
mass genocide.
All right, I'm gonna be here for a little."
The music in the background was great too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Was that
That
the
was
run
crazy.
that you? So I will say I like the music selection in this show.
Yeah.
We dogged the music selection in Yasuke,
Mhm.
and so I
Right.
appreciate. So like what I like about the Amazon, when you watch it on Amazon, I like the functionality of you can see who's all in the screen. You
Yeah.
can see the
Yeah.
song that's playing.
I do love that.
You can, and so like they were playing these songs, and I was like, "What? This sounds like Killer Mike in Oh Boy." And then
Yeah,
I
it was
look it
a
up.
Run the
It is
Jewels.
just Run the Jewels. And so they had a few of those. I like their song selection a lot.
Yeah.
I feel like we could probably all agree on what we didn't like, at least person wise.
Yeah.
So can we get to? We'll get right to it. Let's get right to it. We got time to talk about everybody else. Let's get right to it. Amber, who as voiced by the girl who played in ATL opposite of Donald Glover.
Oh,
And-
is that who that was?
And this is actually a person, ain't no, this is just I don't have nothing personal against the girl, but this is the person I had the most issue with voice acting. She had as much voice acting like prowess as Old Boy did in Yasuke, as Lakeith Stanfield
Yeah,
did in
she was-
Yasuke,
she was kinda
oddly
stale.
enough,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
She was stale.
as ever.
Yeah.
I think one of the things is that people underestimate that the skill set that it takes to do voice acting specifically,
Sure.
and people think, oh, okay, you're an actor, so you
Right.
should be able to.
It's
That was one of the problems that the live action Lion King had.
it's like the
Yeah.
opposite of pantomiming.
Right.
Yeah,
Like you have to be able to. It's because it's just your voice.
Amber
really.
Bennett, sorry.
You gotta display your emotion
yeah.
in the
It's like
talking.
when musical theater singers try to come out with like albums, like
Yeah,
singing
yeah.
albums, and it's not the same thing. But then it's also the other way where record label singers usually don't do musical theater as well.
Yeah.
Like it just doesn't translate. So it's like you can't just pick and act like J.K. Simmons and Sandra Oh, though I don't know that she's done voiceover before, but
Not
she
in this way,
sounded
but she
great.
did great.
But she's a veteran actress, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, chances are she was able to feel out the difference and figure it out.
And I feel like her roles, her dramatic range has been
Yep.
wider too.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So she's got a lot of like tricks in her bag to
Yeah.
kind of go off of. But yeah, people were like, "Oh, we'll just pick this actor to do this voice because it in a live action maybe it would feel right, but like voiceover is just
And
a
I
different
think
monster."
Also, that she tried to come off as, I guess, not aloof, but nonchalant. And
Oh yeah,
I think
like
that's
the
what
cool
she was,
girl.
I think that's what she was going for, but it just was,
I-
which I think is the same thing Lakeith's
Yeah.
character
Yes.
was supposed to go for, but it just comes off flat.
Yeah, maybe that's a direction thing. Like maybe
Yeah.
the director just didn't give her good enough
I-
cues.
She should have sounded like Daria.
like for her. Yeah.
Yes, if you were gonna go that way, right?
Yeah.
If you're gonna go that way, I think I would have much preferred the direction being like somebody like an Issa Rae, who has a distinct
Issa
like,
Rae would have
tone.
been good.
I think she's done a couple like some voice acting
Yeah.
or one bit of voice acting or something like that. I have to look that up. Google's free, I guess. But like, I think that direction for that character because everybody else is so distinct.
Mhm.
Even and I'm not a huge fan of hers, but Jillian Jacobs, who plays Adam Eve,
Yeah.
Mhm.
she
She's a
doesn't
good
necessarily
character, too.
have a wide range or whatnot, but she did really good for her character.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And her direction was really well. And so I don't know. So I thought that was a missed opportunity for them to which is funny too. She's German American. Zazie Beetz.
Zazie Beetz.
Yeah, Zazie Beetz.
She's the one that plays Amber.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh man, because there's like I'm thinking about her as an actress, and I'm like, she could have pulled more from like her Domino character for
Oh, yeah.
this.
Oh, I didn't even think
If
about
she
that.
had pulled from that, that would have worked better.
So she did, and she was, because she was in freaking Deadpool, dude.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make sense to me. So although she didn't do voice acting, she's done the superhero stuff before,
Yeah.
or anti-hero stuff before. So go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say about Amber though.
Talk about it.
So Amber was cool at first, and it was kind of like, oh, they got a black chick in here. Stop it. So I was like, I was down for the cause for a little bit, and she seemed patient because like he definitely ditched her on their first date, and she stuck around for it. You know, had their little makeout session or whatever. And then things start to devolve rapidly. Like initially, you kind of get where she's coming from because it's like if she doesn't know that he's a superhero, it just comes off that he's a flaky person, like, and not at all like what she like. He'd be a bad boyfriend, but when you find out that she knows, when you find out that,
and then how she responds,
right?
Yeah,
knows,
and then she got the nerve to be like, "I did this before."
You lied to me.
First of all,
well, not only that, but so the way that they do it, the way that they reveal like that she knows and she says it's been for a couple weeks, means that when she yells at Mark for abandoning them in that moment, she already knew that he was invincible, which is like, bitch.
But that's what didn't make sense to me. That specifically.
Well, and that's one of the things where I'm like,
that's what they do now.
Did they nerf? No, but I'm like, did they nerf her character with that? Like where it was like they set a timing that wasn't like the real timing. Like it wasn't until after that she should have known.
You know that I don't know.
Right, but that's why I'm like, did they nerf it in the sense of like, it really was after that point that she knew.
The timeline on it.
Yeah. So I'm like, because there's all like, So I was like, is it that she actually did know in that moment and she was being weird, or was it really that she didn't know until after that moment?
Weird.
Cool whip.
Because if she doesn't know that he's.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, if she doesn't know that he's invincible in that moment, her reaction makes 100% sense.
Yeah.
Like
right, exactly.
100% sense. That's what it makes.
Say that 5 times fast.
Yeah, right.
So like that reaction makes sense in that moment because that is super ill, especially when Mark's best friend risks his life, knowing full hell he can't do shit. So that initial reaction makes sense.
Go ahead.
But if she knows and gives him no grace at all,
she's a terrible girlfriend.
At all.
Without a doubt.
She was like, I would rather you be here with me than out saving people. Like,
you look.
And it's like, sure, honesty is a thing, but also so are secret identities.
Right.
Bitch, y'all have not been together a year. He doesn't have to tell you who he really is.
I'm like, hey, I'm invincible. Just my girlfriend. And it just walked away.
That's the big
watch
reveal.
The bad guys.
Then when she gets taken, I'm like, that's why.
He comes and saves her ass like, that's why.
That's why.
But no, I agree with you. I think Amber doesn't come off as, like, she has no redeeming parts of her character. Typically, your Lois Lanes, your Mary Janes, all of these characters. I like new Mary Jane.
New Mary Jane. Or MJ. She's not Mary Jane.
She's not Mary Jane.
Because you
Shout
from
out.
the cartoon, you remember when she threw herself out the building, they keep showing.
Yep.
I just want to know that you would catch me.
Yeah, that's some.
Bye.
I don't like any character.
Next time I'm gonna catch you like Gwen Stacy.
Yeah.
Ooh. No, you didn't. Oh my God.
Like I was saying, I don't like any character that plays like the love interest of a hero that requires them to completely relinquish their hero shipness If that makes sense.
Yeah.
It worked in Batman though.
But it had to work in
Begins,
Batman.
It worked in Batman Begins.
But it had to work in Batman, right? Because Batman is emotionally self-sabotaging, like genius.
Yeah.
But he's
Being
emotionally,
Batman is a
he's
drug
mentally
for him.
not well. He's mentally, like emotionally,
He
health
can't
wise,
do
he's not well.
relationships,
Yeah, he's not well, which is why he fights psychos all the times because that's a reflection of him
He's had
inwardly.
Scarecrow spray him too many times.
Yeah, where it's like but for the most part, you're the girlfriend at least is a sidekick or is helpful in some way or encouraging in some
I
way.
almost always hate the girlfriend. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Right, or
Yeah.
you
Going back to Smallville.
yeah.
Lana.
Lois
Not
was okay.
Lois.
I kept
In
being
Smallville.
like, kill her, please, let her die.
And then they made her Chun-Li.
Oh, they made her Chun-Li
Wait,
with no
Oh, you didn't see that?
thighs.
How Chun-Li
The
didn't go
Street
ahead
Fighter
and
movie
die?
didn't see that. That's the same chick that was in
Not
Smallville.
one
Bruh.
thigh.
Because she's vaguely
Bruh.
just because she's vaguely
Asian?
POC, so they
Bruh.
But all I have to say is
Shit.
so that's my
Now
issue.
I'm mad again.
My issue with Amber is the fact that she does nothing to help and that's going to my neck. I'll go, I guess, unless you want to speak to Amber at all. But like that's my whole thing. So my main issue is with Mark. And the fact that he doesn't really have character development. His character development is almost like Goku, but he doesn't get strong. Like that makes sense. He's getting beat up.
This is Goku,
from
but he's
top to
Yamcha.
bottom.
That's true. He is.
He doesn't catch a real dub against like an actual villain ever
That's
No.
true.
throughout the
But-
entire first season.
Not on purpose.
But you gotta think he's only had powers for a little while though too.
That's fair,
Still.
but
like,
typically,
his powers are OP though, so he should.
right?
He's like
you
Superman.
got your dad powers, right?
Like
You know,
Superman.
but-
Superman's a
but
trash fighter,
I
but
did-
he's just super powered.
I
Right.
don't know. They said this in the cartoon note, but the older they get, the stronger they get.
Yeah.
So if
yeah.
he got his powers that late, and he's not old, he's not gonna be.
Well,
To be fair, he did have one W against that like random ass cyborg dude in the streets.
that was anything. Anyways, which true, but like, so here's the problem. Omni-Man is here,
Yeah.
leagues ahead of everybody.
Mhm.
All the other heroes are here. Mark Grayson, Invincible, is here the entire episode. He doesn't.
That's the irony
does
of his
it-
name, though, right? He's
See,
Oh,
you did that. You did that.
to yourself.
Oh my lord! If y'all watching this, and if that happened for like the 5th time, I'm sorry. It's just funny. But that's part of my issue. Is like typically comic book arcs. You know, you get your powers. There's some improvement. You get a moral victory at least.
Yeah.
And I don't think he got one. Like other than
the cyborg guy.
Cyborg.
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 Which is cool because that show that was misleading because I was like,
yeah.
oh man, this guy about to level up,
Right.
man.
Yeah.
And then no, not happen at all. You get beat up by Liger. You get
He
To be
was
fair,
wrecking everybody.
I don't
though.
think I don't know if Omni-Man could have beat the Liger guy, like because he was cold.
well, that's the thing. Omni-Man looks like
It's
he
only
can
the
beat
best animal in the
anybody.
world.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But Liger Napoleon Dynamite people. If you watching this and you ain't
I
watched
have
that.
a pop of Napoleon right there.
Yeah,
Yes,
I'm
we do.
assuming that everybody that
Fantastic.
watches this has watched Napoleon Dynamite. Just our audience. I know our audience. But all I have to say is Mark Grayson he comes off as, like I said, Goku without the development because Gohan at least has development, right? Gohan over time, Piccolo's beating on him. He eventually become Saiyan
Let
level
him
1.
drown in 2 inches of water.
Right.
Puts him in
He
all these
fights.
fights he knows he can't win.
Right. Gohan fights Cell. Like
Yeah,
there's
right.
development.
That was the most irresponsible thing they could have done. Was put a teenager on
Like, this
Cell.
Piccolo's
Come on,
like,
bruh.
why you making my child fight like this? He don't even like fighting.
Stepdaddy
Goku's
of the
like,
year.
Yeah.
no, this my son. He like fighting.
He'll be
He's like,
all right.
no, he don't.
No, get him on out there, little Gohan out there. You be fine. Anyways, all I have to say. So that's my gripe with Mark Grayson. It's just the lack of development, which I know they'll build on.
Yeah.
But it's hard to see him through an entire series. Like
Just getting his ass whipped.
Yeah.
I think they do develop him in some way. He just always gets his ass kicked though.
Yeah.
Because he started off like Invincible, whatever, and he's slowly.
I think
I can't do it.
Right.
I think he developed,
built him up
Well,
to
I
where
think
he was able to challenge his dad.
I think more with this
you call
one
it a
is
challenge?
that it's
Sorry,
just
No, I said challenge. That just means, hey, me, you fight. I didn't say what happened. I ain't said those
I don't
words.
even call it a challenge.
right?
He got the
That was
brakes
like-
beat off of him, bro. I'm talking about like,
I mean, if
just
Logan
curb
Paul
stomps
can,
and-
if Logan
Right.
Paul can challenge Floyd Mayweather,
Omni-Man
I
put,
take
his hat.
he put his Timbs and his wife beater on, and he beat the crap
Oh,
out of
without
his
a
son,
doubt.
bro.
Without a doubt. He
Shit.
Black Air Force energy.
Yeah, he
for
is.
sure.
No,
Omni-Man
my
for
thing
sure
with
is a
Mark
Black Air
though
Force.
is I don't think he doesn't have any character development. I think this first season was all about devolving.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's this idea that he starts off thinking, I'm gonna be in.
First of all, that hey, Al, you should for that one. You should do like 2 seconds. Like once it's burp.
Ah!
Go ahead.
No,
You setting yourself
so
up.
he starts off like at this high. I finally got my powers. I'm gonna be like my dad. It's gonna be great. Then he finds out that like, oh, I'm not as strong as I thought I was. All these regular people that I thought would be below me are like, like he wants to test out his powers. He gets his ass beat. Like all this kind of stuff happens. Then he finds out about like the stuff with his dad, and it just like all like falls down and like it slowly starts to. It's not about him developing as a character and becoming the hero he's supposed to be. It's him making the realization that he's not who he thought he would be.
I did like that, despite, because kind of like you said, where he's like, oh, I'm gonna be my dad like overnight.
Mhm.
When I get my powers, like I did appreciate that he had to train, and that like they made it very clear, like, hey, you're not gonna be as strong, you're not gonna be as fast, you're not gonna be as as good as I am out the gate. You're gonna have to train. Like, so he gets up every morning, does these training where they're flying everywhere and like fighting, and he's teaching them how to stop and like change directions and how to speed up when he's flying. And I'm like so that kind of character development I felt like was good, because then you're like, okay, well, you see kind of the progression of his abilities. Because you're like, okay, well, Omni-Man obviously is the peak of where he's going to be able to be, potentially. He,
In
could
like
be like a
1,000
Gohan thing where they're
years.
like, oh, he's going to be stronger, like, because he's half and half.
Right.
But, like, I think, like, the point where he literally, like you said, he's taking L's in every single fight he's in, like, throughout the whole season. And then he's going to be on par to be able to fight his dad in the future. Or other people from that planet, because obviously they leave it kind of ambiguous at the end where they're like, oh, well, why did he leave his post? They never do that.
Yeah.
So like he may or may not come back to help him later.
Right. And what are the implications of that?
Right.
Yeah.
We got to move along, but I'll ask this question because this is literally, I took this note down when I was watching this. Speaking of Mark tried his mom. He tried his mom.
And she dared him to try.
She said, but like, cause her thing was like, he literally told his mom, make me. And so this is bring up the hypothetical question. If you had superpowers and your mom didn't, if you had Omni-Man like would you ever dare to try your parents?
I've said things to my mother and got immediately punched. And
you got Omni-Man punched.
And I was...
Think, Malcolm, think!
And I was still kind of in football shape.
Yeah.
So I was like 6'1", 350.
Listen, our mom,
And I was like,
she'd figure out a way.
I was slothing, shoveling the snow. So when she pulled up, she just shoveled, right?
Right.
She just shoveled up before she came in the house. And she she rang the doorbell, come out, opened up the door. And she said, you had me out here shoveling this snow? I said, I didn't have you doing anything. And swat. Like, oh, man.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah.
That's it.
Our mom is the type where it's like, oh, you think because I got you.
Yeah,
I got you.
She's quiet.
Yeah,
So,
she's a very quiet woman, but I feel like she's
but
the
there's
type of
stories
person
about
where
her
it's
like
like,
down south fighting.
if you could, if she needed to, she'd find out a way to off you.
That's funny.
Maybe that's where I get it from.
She also thinks a 22 or a 9mm is too small. She needs a 45 caliber.
So she a gangster.
Right. I'm like,
Right.
you're...
We come from a line.
Yeah.
So y'all not trying her with the Omni-Man powers?
Hell no.
Nah.
I like my life.
Yeah.
With our mom, she's Kris-like, so she'll probably already know our kryptonite and
Yeah.
just have it in storage somewhere.
Right. She's like, I never
waiting for
used
the
it because
day.
I love you, but also you doing a lot right now.
So, and I'll move on to the least favorite parts after this, because that's the thing that made me think about, like, with Mark, right? How often did he get beat or disciplined or corporal punishmented? Made up that word. Oh, we can do that here. Because, like, and what type of privilege do you have where you ever feel like it's okay to do that? Like, I've never in my 30 some odd years of life,
Right.
you know what I mean? Because
they're
but he
certain
has privilege. He
yeah,
has
but
that.
certain upbringings is like, no whippings or whatever. And you got to think too, he's been waiting for this moment he feels free.
Yeah.
And so it's like, oh, now you're going to
That's what you do with your freedom?
Now you're going to try to put some shackles on me? That's probably where it was coming from.
Yeah.
And then she was like, try it. Does that make you feel powerful? Knowing that I can't do anything?
Put the guilt on you.
Right? And you be like, oh, man.
She was like, "I'll still beat your ass."
Right.
Right.
He was like, yeah.
I guess are y'all moms like that?
Oh no, I've been punched by my mom before. I'm not gonna say it. Yeah. I mean, and it was on me. I'm not even gonna hold you. I ain't even like. And again, I grew up in the South, so like now it's like it's a whole nother.
I'm surprised it was just a punch then.
Exactly. So like,
I was lucky. My mom was tame.
I was. I remember open hand. And I actually one punch. It was open hand slap. And it was one of these make me situations, right? And it was like,
oh yeah, then it was your fault.
Hey Lance, and it wasn't even like saucy how she asked me. It was just like, I don't know. I just, you starting to learn how to use words at the age of like 11 and 12. Like you can start using words in a crafty way. You can be slick with it.
Ah, yeah.
And so, hey Lance, get in here, wash these dishes. Make me.
Immediately. Yeah.
She like came out of nowhere too, come around the corner like
As the tears start rolling
Right,
up.
that slow cry.
Why are you crying? Stop crying.
Stop crying.
I can't reverse the tears, mom. Granted, like I said, it was on me.
Yeah.
You said no crap like that, but yes, I couldn't. And my mom's nice to me now or whatever. I wouldn't try her with the Omni-Man powers ever. No, never.
Nah, my mom never. She would get my dad. Like my mom never. I mean, other than like spanking us, she never like hit us.
Yeah.
And neither my dad wasn't like that.
You were
either,
probably a
but,
way
like,
better kid than us, though.
I mean, I was kind of like the goody two shoes kid.
I was too. My mom, the worst I got from my mom was the comb. Yeah.
Squirming.
As a black girl with the comb. So, you keep your head still.
Yeah.
That's all she asked.
Yeah. No, that's like
And
water
here I
torture.
go,
Is that black water torture?
Is it?
Go ahead.
No, yeah, I got the keep your head still. Your head's not still. I'm gonna go ahead and slingshot this comb.
Yeah.
I told you to be still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, black water torture. Anyways, so we had what, 1 hour probably right now? Okay, so real quick, any other things that were missing? Because I know we talked about favorite things, not favorite things.
Alan the alien.
Alan the alien,
yeah.
Seth
Rogen's
Rogen. Shout out him.
He was pretty funny.
I didn't expect him to come out of nowhere. Like they just kind of announced him like, we have somebody headed toward this planet. And then when they beat up and sort of scrap, it's goofy off rip.
Yeah.
And so like when they sit down and have their rock moment, like when they pull up rocks and they sit down and talk, I appreciated it.
I like that they revisited it at the end too.
Yes. Yeah.
And
he was like, "Oh, I forgot to tell you."
It's like they was catching up. Adam Eve, shout out Jillian Jacobs. She did a really good job.
Yeah, she did
She's a
really
good
good job.
character, too.
Yeah. I love her like her free moment where she's at the end and she's just like, I'm gonna be the hero that I want to be now. Like
Yeah.
all
And was
this
making,
like
legit.
yeah,
So the
she
funny
was
thing
really doing it.
Have you ever seen Community?
Yeah.
And so that's like her character in
In
Community.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like,
that's funny.
except for her character in Community does it in a terrible way. But like she actually does good for the world in
Yeah.
her role. I appreciated them doing that for her. As
Yeah.
opposed to, she wasn't immediately the romantic like object of the main of Mark, and she
Mhm.
wasn't necessarily the quintessential independent woman. She was just like, well, I'm just gonna help in the way I can help.
Mhm.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
when she does the she makes the door disappear on her dad.
Yeah. That was pretty funny.
Shout out Mahershala Ali for being another street legend and another comic book related.
I was gonna say he rose to the ranks, like in Luke Cage.
yeah, Cottonmouth, and now he's Machine.
Yeah,
or,
which they should have never offed him the way they did in Luke Cage.
Yeah.
I didn't like that
because his character has more longevity in Luke Cage than what they did on the show. But then again, like them Luke Cage comics, if you ever open them up, they dark. They a little scary. Not like the show. They like it's a drug addiction involved, all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
Anyways, other than that, anything else I'm missing? Miscellaneous tidbits, things you like. Otherwise, we're moving on to a rating.
The love triangle with the Gambit guy and Monster Girl and the
who is
robot.
Gambit? You talking about?
The guy that throws the exploding coins.
Yeah, he throws the coins.
Yeah, in my mind, he's Gambit.
Yeah, that's basically who he is.
Yeah.
I don't remember his name.
That's dude who played in the league.
It's like
That's Rex Explode.
Yeah.
Which is funny because have you guys watched Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
the voice actor is the crazy boyfriend.
Yes,
The undercover cop. Yeah, the guy that's literally crazy.
He's in the show, like
Yeah, he's
crazy as
crazy.
ever.
He's the
Oh,
funniest
man.
character, bro. But
You
like,
never
that's
seen Brooklyn
that guy.
Nine-Nine?
Yeah.
Oh, you have?
Mhm.
Okay, I was
Yeah,
like,
that show's hilarious.
that shows.
This lady I used to cashier with, nephew, wrote for them.
Oh,
Really?
really?
And
That's cool.
SNL.
That's cool.
That's
Oh, wow.
hilarious.
I always do the cool.
Yeah, I do that too. Well, it was funny because, quick aside, so like our corporate office for my job we have branch numbers. So like the branch number for our corporate office is 4499.
Nice.
And so like anytime me or my boss, because I got him hooked on Brooklyn Nine-Nine, anytime either of us would have to go to the corporate office, we'd always be like, all right, I'm going to 99. And then we'd be 99.
Yo.
Oh man.
Sorry, that was
No,
quick,
love triangle is weird.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
didn't know
that
how to
was-
feel about that.
Also, the old guy on the new team. He was like,
Oh,
I was
yeah,
a
who
part
got
of the
his power
old team,
back.
and he
Yeah.
got his power.
Oh,
That
Samson?
Black
his
Samson.
whole thing. None of what happens with him makes sense.
How he
At
got his
all.
powers back and all that.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
you talking about, you talking about-
how they disappeared,
Samson.
how he was
Yeah, Black Samson.
how he was
Pretty
around
much.
for the new team, how he got his
Yeah.
power. None of any of the
Oh,
stuff that
we
happens
didn't even
with him
touch
makes
on
sense.
the man that made the power play for the seat as crime boss. Was
Oh,
his
That's what
name?
we're talking about.
That's
you talking about
Mahershala Ali's
Mahershala
character.
Ali.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I appreciated the story arc. I could have did without it though. Be
Yeah.
honest with you, I appreciated
I mean,
seeing
that
the
was-
liger
They might be
that was
setting it up. Yeah.
for sure.
You know,
It's
for-
just
So for
I would have rather see that happen, and I would have let that play out in like 3-4 episodes straight
yeah.
or whatever. Because I appreciated it, I liked it, but all that showed me was that Liger defeats is all.
But you know what I think happened though with stuff like that as far as timelines. I think they weren't totally sure how it was going to be received. So
Yeah,
tried
they
to
want to give you a little
squeeze
bit of
as
everything.
much as they could.
That
Yeah,
makes
I think
sense.
so.
Yeah.
They didn't think that the audience would give them time to build
Yeah.
that out.
Because the animation was okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, there's probably a couple other things they weren't sure of
Yeah.
and how people would receive it, where they just wanted to try to get as much as the main points at the beginning of the story as they could.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think it's time for a rating. Scale of 1 to 10. Can't pick a 7. Adjustable 6s are allowed. What do you guys rate this show?
I mean, honestly, for me, I'd probably give it like an 8. I really enjoyed it. I mean, there weren't really a lot of things that I didn't like. I mean, it wasn't like amazing, but like pure entertainment value, interesting story, good voice acting for the most part. Yeah, I give it like an 8.
Oh, real quick, my bad. You gave it an 8. The best friend,
Oh yeah, I mentioned him.
the
but-
worst best friend in any comic book, anything. He had no redeeming. He wasn't even funny. Like
is Mark's best friend?
Mark's
Yeah,
best friend.
He wasn't
I
that
didn't mind
bad.
him.
Funny.
I didn't mind him.
But he's supposed to be funny. The best friend, when the you got the socially awkward coming of age main character team that is Mark Grayson, the best friend is supposed to be the comic relief or somebody that's
But I
you know
think
what
he
I mean.
was a good best friend as a best friend.
Yeah. He maybe wasn't
He
the
was like,
best
yo, okay,
comic
I see what
relief,
you're
but
saying.
he was
Like,
a
as
good friend.
Not
Yeah.
for the role, but as a best
I see what
friend,
you're saying.
I
Yeah.
think I think he was good for that.
Yeah, I don't know, but I just wish that could have been different. That could have gone different. I think they did some things with that they didn't have to because of different things. But 8 for you.
I can't remember if it's like that in the comic or not.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't
pretty
read.
sure
I
it
didn't read
is.
the comic.
Yeah. I think I'm at like an 8.5, somewhere between the 8 and 9, just because I did really enjoy, and I think it's really entertaining. I think the fights are really good.
Mm-hmm.
Even the fight choreography was really good. Not like the best I've ever seen, but it's good, especially for cartoons, because cartoons never do any good fight choreography.
And all the blood.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So much gore. And I think the first initial twist was a really good twist.
Yeah.
So it might be living off of the fat of that a little bit.
Well, and they had Hellboy in there.
Oh man.
Oh man.
I like the
Harriet the Spy.
That was so funny. I love that Omni-Man walked in the house. He's like, "Babe, are you okay?" She's like, "I'm fine." And he just exhales. Like,
Yeah, right.
this nigga was here. Yeah, I think I'm. Yeah,
Did
I'm
you
not
like
like
the
an
costume
8.5.
thing?
What?
Did you like
For
the costume?
Hellboy?
No, for Mark. What's Mark's you didn't fall for it.
No, I didn't. No, I did not.
I thought I could get one more.
I won't
for
give you the
this
satisfaction. In any case, 8.5, I think, is what I'm going with.
Yeah, I'll go with a solid 9.
Nice.
Just a good show. Good show overall. I think the only thing that they could do, they probably will do, because they'll get a second season. Everybody love the show.
I think they confirmed it.
Yeah, they
already.
greenlit for a second season.
I mean, it was so popular when it came out that would be stupid not to.
Right.
Yeah.
So like I think it's only a 9 because I think they're gonna start doing stuff in a but second seasons always get dicey. Because you're like, the novelty is gone. Now you have to now you actually have to live off your story.
It's true.
And so I would say the story wasn't the strongest in season 1. And so I think season 2, if you don't have the novelty and you got to have a better story, I wonder how they're going to navigate trying to do some of that same stuff, like fit different parts of kind of like their comic book universe for, Invincible and all that.
Didn't they get 2 seasons? Didn't they get 2 and 3?
I'm not sure.
So they
I know they got 2.
They
Yeah,
might
they
be able
got
to take
2
their
and 3.
time. So they can take their time more. So hopefully there's more development for some of the storylines instead of.
Well, because I mean, you think about it, there's a lot they can do because with the whole like Omni-Man's people who I forget the name of, like
Viltrumites.
Oh yeah, the Viltrumites.
Yeah.
The fact that like any planet that there's a Viltrumite at, they're eventually going to colonize.
They also have the parasites on the moon.
Yeah. That was
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
and the
Right.
Mars. You mean Mars?
Mars
Oh,
mission.
yeah,
That
Mars.
was so
Yeah.
interesting. I appreciated it for
Yeah.
kind of sewing that
Yeah.
little
Yeah,
bit.
me too. Yeah.
He's like, where'd you think Martian Man came from?
Yeah. Right.
You know why else I give it an 8.5? Because I do feel like they kind of nerfed Amber's character, because she does not start out as that person, but
Yeah.
she ends up that person.
That's
I was
true.
like, it's like one of those things where
2 and 3. Yes, 2
damn,
and 3
which
seasons.
was it? I can't remember what
That's
show
nice.
it was anymore. Where it was like, oh, Attack on Titan. It was one of those things where it was like, this is not the character you wrote.
Right.
Talking about like Mikasa?
No. I'm talking about like Eren.
Oh.
Season 4 Eren and Eren in the last chapters of the written
But it was also a time
manga.
jump.
Yeah.
No, well, I guess and maybe that helps explain some of that, but it was like there's certain essences that you build into your characters that it's not necessarily that they have to become predictable after that, but what they do has to make sense with who they are,
Yeah,
the
I
essence
think-
of who they are.
Yeah, I think
And so-
Amber's character would have been better as being like, I already know, so just tell me. And he's trying to be like, what are you talking about?
Right.
And then she gets mad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, like if something like that had happened, that would make more sense for the character that she
Yeah.
was. But for her to go from being like the understanding girlfriend to the one that's annoyed that he's flaky
Right.
to having known, like those are different people.
Yeah.
So yeah, 8.5.
Yeah, Kris took all my time.
Sorry.
So I'm gonna drop a sign on her. But I give it an 8 as well. I think it was really well done. And rewatchable.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
It's rewatchable.
True.
Because I
Good point.
watched it episodes over with her because I was ahead of her.
Yeah.
Watching.
That's good.
Okay. I'm sorry. Yes, 8. Good. Okay, animation. Okay, story. The fight scenes. All of them are
Oh yeah,
amazing.
without a doubt. Every
Yeah.
single one.
All of them are amazing, and I'm glad they got greenlit for 2 more seasons.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm excited to see what they're gonna do with the show. I'm excited to see how this is gonna open up. So this is on Amazon. It's not even on.
Right.
So I think there's a different pressure for things that go on Netflix and things that go on HBO Max than things that go on Amazon, Apple. There are a few other streaming ones. I just got Apple TV. They're pretty much giving that stuff away. If you buy an Apple product, you get like a year's worth of Apple TV or whatever.
Watch Ted Lasso.
And
Watch
that's on
Ted
the list. That's on the
Lasso.
list.
Watch Ted Lasso.
But all I have to say is like them doing this and having that success. It's like I'm curious to see how that's gonna usher in, because like same thing with like all the newer age, and then I'll close after this. Newer age like animes, like the Demon Slayers, the My Hero Academia, stuff like that. Like they're ushering in kind of these deals being made between streaming companies and other anime, and so like so same thing with this in the comic book realm, because this isn't like a big. It's not a. It's like, it's like all the like Superman, but it's but like as far as it's all the Justice League,
You gotta put in a
Superman,
quarter
Avengers.
for the cart.
Well, all that to say is like it's not a main, it's not like a brand name. You know what I mean? But it's still receiving the success it's receiving. So I'm curious to see what's gonna follow up, like with other shows or maybe from the same company.
Well, they're redoing Ninja Turtles, aren't they?
I heard it. Yeah, I heard that.
Did you see the redo for the arcade game?
What?
Oh yeah.
Yo.
That'd be
Word?
fire.
Yo.
That was one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna say what I did to my NES Mini, but I acquired the Ninja Turtle game and I put it on. You know what I mean? And I played it. But yeah, so like that Ninja Turtle game is epic. But anyways, all I'd say is this is great. Subscribe, like. We're reading all reviews. We appreciate y'all support. Y'all know the slogan: stay colorful. Peace.